They're beautiful.
All right, all rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please be seated.
Councilmember Wright?
Here.
Councilmember Foreman?
Here.
Councilmember Guarini?
Here.
Councilmember Martino?
Present.
Here. I got one item for special consideration, a refund that was not applied. I got it here somewhere.
I do not.
Yeah, I got it right here.
No, you don't, because it came in way late.
It came in late
but
today.
I do have a copy of it.
Okay.
So it's a resolution approving a
Yes.
ZBA application fee for $350. So I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to put that on there. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is to the Town Board regular meeting, November 19th, to accept those minutes. I make a motion to accept that. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and right now, I'd like to divert from the agenda. We got a young man here who deserves recognition from the town of Fishkill. He's sitting next to the town clerk. What's your name, son? Speak in the mic.
It's too late, you're on camera.
Abraham Knapp.
Abraham.
Hello, Abraham. So Abraham did a great thing for his community, and the town of Fishkill would like to recognize you for your hard work. So we've got a proclamation recognizing the outstanding contributions of Abraham Knapp, whereas Abraham is a 7-year-old Fishkill resident and a student of the Bickerhoff Elementary School, and whereas Abraham did undertake a project in service of the Fishkill community to fight hunger and food insecurity, and whereas the people involved shopping, assembling, and packaging stable meals for families, and whereas Abraham did create nearly 150 packages of ready-to-make meals, including all the ingredients, recipes, and cooking instructions, and whereas Abraham delivered these packages to the Fishkill Food Pantry for distribution, and whereas thanks to Abraham's effort, the Fishkill Food Pantry will be able to promote meals and will feed 150 families in and around the Fishkill community, and whereas Abraham's enthusiasm, dedication, and leadership distinguish him as a good example for children and adults to follow, and whereas the town board desires to recognize the efforts of all those who go above and beyond their dedication to the Fishkill community, now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Fishkill hereby proclaim in recognition to Fishkill resident Abraham Knapp and his outstanding contributions to the community, and be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Fishkill shall present a copy of this proclamation to Abraham on December 3rd, town board meeting, and by order of the town board, town of Fishkill, on this date, the 3rd day of December 2025. This is for you. Now, would you like to say a few words, Eddie? Mr. Cologne and his mom helped him. I'll take a picture with you.
I'll take that.
Would you like to say something? You can say something right here. Say it right there, Abraham.
So, Abraham, it's been a great honor to be having this young kid with us. In a few minutes, I'm going to show the board exactly what he did. These donations that he did is amazing of what he done and what he feeds a lot of families. And last year he also did the same thing too. This is pretty soon you're going to see this man standing on that podium taking my place. Abraham,
Here, sitting here.
thank you. Thank you.
Get a picture of you and his mom. Come on, get a picture of mom. Greg, take some pictures for us. Come on, take a picture.
All right.
She's ready, okay? And then go for the picture. All right, and then over back to Rick.
Look right at me. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Same time, the two pictures, both phones at the same time. Funny, right? Yeah.
Yes, please.
One more picture.
One more picture.
Can I take a picture?
The old guys. Come on, let's get it.
Put the back to John,
Abraham, good job.
Good job, Abraham.
Congratulations.
Everybody wants that haircut. All right, please don't take the hair.
That was nice.
I was just thinking the same thing.
That's why I said it when I was passing you.
Kindred soul.
All right, next up is a public hearing to amend Chapter 29 of the Town Code. Make a motion to open the public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody wish to speak? Public hearing. Any questions from the board members? Make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next one up is a public hearing on proposed local law with the hotel tax thing. Make a motion to open a public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody would like to speak about that? Any board members?
No.
We're glad it's on the books.
Yes.
Make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. No new employees. Privilege of the floor for any item, Mr. Cologne.
Nice, my time.
Okay. Eddie Colon from the town of Fishkill, representing the food pantry. So, a little recap over here. On November 2nd, we had a meeting at the highway department with the highway garage with the Mr. Carmine Isvan, superintendent, and it was a monthly meeting, and the topic was the food inconsistency. So as of that day, the residents and the community of Fishkill has amazed as they opened up their heart, and we've been blessed. The contributions that has been given to the food pantry, it is amazing. But one thing that really, I got to say that Marilyn and Brandon, you should be proud of that young kid there. That's our future. 95, I said a good 90 to 95% of the people doing the donation, the food drives out there, are the young generation. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. 2 weeks ago, I was walking around with a newspaper reporter. I visited two schools and the food pantry. And St. Mary's School, those kids, the stories they told. There was one child that said, my family and I, we live comfortably. We have a car, we have cars, we have a house. I eat good. But when I did a food drive with you, I cried because I didn't realize how many people out there were without food, how many people go to sleep without eating. And she says, Mr. Cologne, can I keep doing food drives with you? I says, with open arms, you could come. It's been, and also the kids from Fishkill Elementary. So they also got to get recognized. I call this young generation doing these food drives the foundation of our community. They're not only getting educated by their parents, and even them themselves tell the parents, hey, Mom, we got to do something, Dad, we got to do something. But they're also getting, they're learning from their scholars, their mentors, their teachers, that they're teaching them some values of what's going on out there. And again, we're not going to end it, but we could, they see it. And together, if we all work together with them, we will do good. So far, last year, we did 140,000 meals, 500,000 meals. That's a lot of meals. Guess how much we done so far this year, up to November? 129,000. So guess what? We're going to surpass, I think we're going to be going over 150,000 meals. This month of November, there were 67 new clients. That's way out there. But again, I collect 200 bags today, tomorrow 400 go out, because it's a revolving door. It's a revolving door that's not going to stop, because it's hunger. Hunger does not discriminate and does not have a political affiliation. So it's there. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank the community of Fishkill. And when I say Fishkill entirely, with their stepping up, especially the young generation. It makes me feel proud when I see those kids out there and they ask to come back. And I will never deny them not to do a food drive. As long as I'm here, and I'm here to help the community and keep my mission, they will always have a spot there for me. And I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to come and stand here on this podium, because one day those young kids are going to be here, like I said. Oh, like Mr. Obra said, sitting behind on that desk over there, you know? But it is a good feeling that when the community of Fishkill care, Fishkill step up to the plate. And he's still stepping up. And we're still accepting donation because it's never going to end. So I thank you, and God bless.
Show the bag.
Huh?
You're going to show the bag that you put together?
Oh, so
That's what you wanted to do?
yeah. So I call it a survival bag. So I'm going to pass it around. And this is what this young man created. Can't get easier than that. I mean, I wish I had the brain at his age when he did this. So we have two kinds of meals in here.
I've seen them.
Oh, here we go.
And so if I'm understanding this right, Abraham, this bag contains everything you need to make the meal that has the recipe right here on the paper, right? And that's enough to feed a whole family?
Yep. Well, it depends what you got there.
That's fantastic.
You got the recipe right there, right?
Yeah.
To your left hand, you have the turkey meal. The only thing you just got there, just add water.
Wow. How about that?
Very cool.
You see, it's easy for a bachelor too.
Absolutely.
They're shelf-sustainable, there's nothing that...
All non-perishable, it will
Yeah.
last?
So
Tremendous
these meals if you look at the dates on these cans, some of these cans are dated to 28. Am I going to be around to the year 28?
Wow.
You know? But this is what this young man did, and it's amazing. And last year, I believe he collected 16 bags of food by himself. So if we keep having young men like this, wow,
Wow.
we'd be hitting home runs. So, again, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you. And I'm
Thank you,
taking
Eddie.
my bags
Thank you,
back.
Abraham. Anybody else like to speak? Mr. Ashworth? That's your cue, Eddie.
Perfect timing, Eddie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So good evening again. I'm Lance Ashworth, Chairman of the Friends of the Fishkill Supply Depot, local nonprofit group seeking to save the historic Fishkill Supply Depot site. I have two items tonight that I wanted to discuss for the board. One is a simple reminder. You'll recall that together our group, in tandem with your historian, has pursued a historic trolley grant through the Hudson River Valley Greenways. That decision will be made December 10th. So 1 week from tonight, we should hear about the grant. And when I do find the results, I'll pass those to the historian to get them to the board so that you'll know if we have a thumbs up for going forward and implementing that event for next summer.
Thank you.
The second item is that our group, the Friends of the Fishkill Supply Depot, continue to be worried about the burial ground that's on the property proposed for development as the Continental Commons. And while the October 14th rededication of the DAR monument that was undertaken by the town was a fantastic step forward, it fell short of giving any protection to the burial ground. And what I mean by that is, if you follow the planning process, the developer is only given, really his word, a handshake deal with the town that he would not develop on the burials area that's located on the northeast corner of where Van Wyck Lake Road intersects with US Route 9. Now, this is the same developer who has ignored the restrictive covenant that's on the north end of his property, north of the Speedway station, by taking down multiple trees, which defies the covenant that's in place since around the year 2000. So our group doesn't have any faith that the developer is not going to, at some point, look to capitalize on the burial ground. And so I'm here tonight to essentially press the town of Fishkill to declare that burial ground a Revolutionary War soldiers' burial ground, to take that step. It's clear the body of information that's available, dating from maps to the Revolutionary War to historical texts, early 1800s, to the most recent digs in 2007 and 2013 that identified 14 grave shafts and identified 4 actual bodies. It's clear that it's a Revolutionary War burial ground. It's in keeping with everything that's out there. Now, the developer and others who support his cause have indicated that it could be a family cemetery. Well, I challenge that notion, because almost all family cemeteries of that period of the late 1700s typically have headstones. Even the Van Wyck family cemetery that's designated over by St. Columba Church in East Fishkill, present-day East Fishkill, is a marked cemetery. It's not an unmarked burial ground. So it doesn't hold water that it would be a family plot, an unmarked family plot. So if you also explore what I consider to be misinformation that civilians were buried there during the Revolutionary War, that doesn't make sense either. As a former military officer, I know that with an armed encampment during wartime, the guards and the sentries and the leadership of the camp are not going to allow civilians to enter the camp to bury civilian dead.
What was the Dr. Osborne? Was he an officer or was he just a surgeon?
He's a surgeon.
Was he a military surgeon?
I don't believe so, no.
Wasn't he buried in there? Is there any?
So there's no records. It's an unmarked burial ground.
Okay.
Not specific records as to who's in there, but we have the names, through our own research, we have the names of some 88 patriots who died at the Fishkill Supply Depot encampment. And I believe they're in that burial ground. I don't think it's a family plot. I don't think it's some scattering of bodies that doesn't make sense, like the developer says. When you put it all together, it's a Revolutionary War burial ground. And so I'd like to press the town on bringing some protection to that. And the first step would be to declare it as such, to declare it a Revolutionary War burial ground.
Well, we just can't declare something a burial ground. We need evidence of that.
Well, listen, you did the research that it took to rededicate the DAR monument. Then maybe my request is to the town of Fishkill to gather the evidence necessary to determining what type of burial ground it is. I'm confident you're going to come to the conclusion that it's a Revolutionary War burial ground. And at that point, I would ask you to declare it as such.
Okay. Does your organization have proof?
We have a ton of documents and other information, archaeological information that we can provide. A lot of it was provided to the town during the planning process for the Continental Commons, but we can assemble what we have into kind of one area and present it to the town in the future if necessary. On the heels of the October 14th rededication, and because of all the misinformation that's out there, I know this isn't official, but on our group's Facebook page, we began a series of publishing the information that supports our claim that it's a Revolutionary War burial ground. So if you want a flavor for what sort of information is out there, you could go to our Facebook page and see the last 10 postings, and you'll find that a sample of the body of work that we have indicating that it's a Revolutionary War burial ground.
If the board was to consider that, do you have that evidence sourced? Like, for example, a book, a newspaper article, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I'd certainly be interested in reviewing any type of historical record of note for the town. I think there's always value in learning that. Obviously, I won't commit without seeing what those records are, what that documentation asserts to any type of official determination by myself or the town, but I'm always happy to review anything which a citizen or organization provides that may be of historical import.
And this, you know, the origin of this is that without a restrictive covenant or without a conservation easement, there's nothing protecting that burial ground. It essentially is on private property.
Wasn't a conservation easement required as a condition of site plan approval?
Nope.
You sure about that?
There was something that said that the Historical Society was going to work in concert with the developer not to develop the site.
Nothing's
I
ever
do
been
believe
made.
that was contracted.
Nothing has been made official. That
All
step
right,
has
I'll-
not been
I'll
taken.
Take a look at the planning board's records. I'll report back to the board, but I had the understanding that there was a conservation easement being imposed on the burial ground. It wasn't just a handshake deal.
Not that I'm aware.
Well, I'll look into it and we'll find out.
Yep.
So, Mr. Gabb, I don't want to be, this is a controversial subject. What would be a generic discussion item to start with?
Well, the board could, if it wished, adopt a resolution.
No, I'm not talking, I'm not at resolution stage at all. Something to get on the discussion to talk about it.
So that the board could discuss it publicly.
Well, don't you want the information before you
Yeah.
put it on as a discussion
Yeah,
item?
let's get him to reply, Mr. Gavin to reply,
Okay.
before we make a decision.
I mean, if it's helpful, I can gather what we have and present it at a future board meeting.
What is the second town board meeting in January, ma'am? Ms. Clerk? Becky?
In January?
Yeah.
I don't know, my brain shut off on December 17th.
She's retiring.
Wednesday, so the 7th, the 21st of January.
21st, right? 7th would be the 21st.
7 and 21.
Yeah.
7 and 21.
The 21st. So I'll put a generic discussion item for the 21st
Like a placeholder? Yeah.
as a placeholder. And you bring your information to me, and I'll table it to the next meeting, and we'll get it on the computer the right way, and we'll discuss it.
Sounds good.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Lamb.
Yep.
Mr.
Happy holidays.
Langshore. Happy holidays to you, too.
Happy holidays.
Anybody else like to speak? Okay. New employees, privilege of the floor. John, you got anything?
Nope.
Brian?
Oh, we're already at,
Yeah.
Liaison.
well, let's see, I had a hip replaced, that's about it.
Worked out good.
What's that?
It worked out good.
Worked out extremely well.
You had a 14-minute meeting in your absence.
You got you on that one.
Okay, so we're going beyond 14 minutes and it's not my fault.
No, no, it's not.
Eddie Cologne was here.
Told you. All right, Greg?
I have nothing other than I hope that everyone had a really good Thanksgiving. I want to give a tip of the cap to our highway department for the handling of the first snowfall of the year. Always good to know that they're out and about and keeping our roads clear and our residents safe. And while Mr. Cologne was speaking and we were hearing about the work that Abraham did and the work of the young people of Fishkill schools at St. Mary's and Fishkill Elementary, I was struck by a thought I feel would be appropriate to share, which is when Mr. Cologne mentioned that young people comprise a huge percentage of the donors to the food pantry, it's important to remember that young people, perhaps better than anyone else, have a sense of fairness. Everyone deserves to eat. That's just a universal truth. No one on merit deserves to starve. It isn't until we become older and different ideas and ideologies and agendas work their way into our heads that anyone ever develops the idea that there are some people in this world who simply don't deserve to eat. So to see that these children are engaging in such a community-based way of giving back and acting on that fairness, which I think is really instilled in all of us until we lose sight of it, is a wonderful thing, and I'd like to commend them all for what they did. That's all.
Excellent. Jackie?
Here, Greg. Yes, I hope everyone did have a happy Thanksgiving. Just one significant thing that I took part in since I've last seen you was the meeting for the downstate. And without getting into specifics, because there's still a lot of work to be done, I think that they have our ear and they understand what the people of the town want, and we intend to do our best to give to the people of the town, a fair deal, with things in mind like traffic and walkable, neighborhoods, infrastructure, and of course with the lowest financial impact to the people who are already here and who will be impacted by it. That's all I have right now.
You were at the meeting, right?
Okay.
I'm all set.
Want to say something?
No.
Mind if I make a
Yep.
comment?
Thank you, Jackie, for reminding me of that very important meeting, and I was glad to be there. And I will say that, just to paraphrase what Jackie just said without, getting granular here, we are, I think, making a major headway, and I'm very proud of it, on reducing the size and scope of that monster. And there's just so many things that they haven't considered that we brought to their attention. So I'm glad we lawyered up, did what we had to do, and I think that, we do have their attention. There's no doubt about it. And I just want to mention this. Saturday at 1 o'clock at Highway is a rededication of for Glenn Schofield. So everybody should come this December 6th, 1 p.m., rededication of the Highway Garage for Glenn Schofield, who deserves it in all of his great years of service.
Excellent. Excellent.
And before we move on, one last thing, since Councilmember Bardini wasn't with us at our last meeting, I had a chance to tell you in person that at our last meeting, this body did congratulate you on your reelection and looks forward to working with you for the next 4 years.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Today's the 3rd, right? Okay, I was glad to work with Jackie, Brian, and John at the downstate meeting. We had all 3 of our attorneys lined up to protect our residents. Hopefully, we get something that's positive for all sides, and I'm looking forward to working with the community, the Glenham Fire Department, the Beacon City School District, to get that done. The chief sent me a couple letters of accommodation for our officers. I'm just going to read a couple quick ones here. Good morning. Just wanted to thank you to let you know that Fishkill Traffic Officer Corso spent the afternoon Wednesday, November 26th, pulling over speeders on Old Castle Point Road, and came back on Sunday, November 30th. I saw him and I thanked him, and I said we would like to see more of him. I know it was worth his time, and plenty of drivers got caught. I really hope it begins to make a difference as we're flying through there again this morning. So if you got a complaint about speeders or anything like that, let us know. We will get our officers when available to conduct traffic and protect your quality of life. We got another one here. I'm a receipt of correspondence commending the actions of police officers Kangas and Farrow. It's always a pleasure to receive a letter of praise from our members and our staff. To personally thank you for the time to write, please note that your letter is made part of their personal files. That one I think was a noise complaint, and this one I think is a car accident. Praising the officers' professionalism. I am a receipt of your correspondence commending the actions of Officer Victor Mascara. It is always a pleasure to receive a letter and praise from a member of our staff. So anybody have any concerns or issues about your quality of life, please send me an email at supervisor@fishkill-ny.gov, and we will move on it. Finally, as we head into the 250th anniversary, I've got some passports that are some rough drafts here that we're going to hand deliver to the residents of the town of Fishkill. Basically, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to have the town seal with a special 250th anniversary seal. It'll go through a welcome, and it'll go through all the historic sites in the town of Fishkill: Bannerman's Island, Mount Goulian, Stony Kilt, Kip House, Texaco Research, Matawan, the Underground Railroad plaque, the Trinity Church, Van Wyck Hall, Van Wyck Homestead, the American Revolutionary War Memorial, Chief Nimham statue, Colonel Brickoff's house, our previous town hall, another Brickoff house, the Roundabout Rural Cemetery, Duchess Manor, the Mount Beacon Monument, which is in the town of Fishkill, not Beacon, The Revolutionary War Bear Battery, which is on the, at the intersection of, it's in Fishkill, just north of the Putnam County line. You look at it today as a big two-lane highway. Back then, it was probably 10 feet wide with about 2,000 soldiers protecting the supply depot. The goal of the British was to separate New England from the rest of the country via the Hudson River. If that was accomplished, the United States would not have existed today. So Fishkill played its part, and that's why it's very important that we're going to celebrate our 250th. So basically what we got is you travel through Fishkill, you're going to initial and date the time you went, and you're going to come to town hall, either my office or the clerk's office, and we're going to give you a pin. Brian, you have those pins?
Right here.
Bring them down here, please.
Just be clear, Supervisor, are you telling me I have to climb Mount Beacon to finish this thing?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I don't mind doing it, I'm just gonna have to clear an afternoon, you know?
I can do it.
So we made about 4,500 of, well, we're making 4,500 of these 2 pins, one for the 250th anniversary. There's about 9,500 residents in the 9,500 residential units in the town of Fishkill. The population is about 24,000. Each house is going to get one of these passports and a letter from the town board members explaining what's happening and our course of our celebration next year. You complete the passport in the first 4,500, you'll get the one with the red emblem around it, and then whatever left over, you'll get the ordinary ones where the next supervisor and board members can give out for the next 10, 15 years. So that's what I got for supervisor comments.
Are those your pins or mine?
Those are, you can have them. I'm going to make a lot more.
Just being selfish.
Do you have any? No. Give them to John. I'll give you new ones when they come in. He doesn't have any. Give them to him.
Oh, sure.
Yep, let him have something. No, we already did a presentation. Next up is discussions. Mr. Gaba, the little red schoolhouse didn't make contact with us, right?
Well, we've been in contact with the state education department, and the last response we got was actually Tuesday, December 2nd, this week, and it said, this is addressed to me from the education department. Our team is reviewing the title you provided us with. We are meeting with them next week to further discuss. I will touch base with you next week as to next steps. Thank you so much for your patience.
Okay, so we got some movement there.
So we have some progress with that, and if the state's willing to deed the property to you, then you're going to have to look into getting a survey done as to exactly what the meets and bounds will be, but until they give you the nod, there's really nothing you can do right now.
Got it. And my personal goal, and up to the town board members, if we get it for $1, I doubt I get it built or anything like that. It was only 800 square feet. It wasn't big. It was operated for almost 80 years, K through 12. It was pretty unique. So it wasn't a big structure, but the symbolism of the United States and the town of Fishkill having this could be a nice little beautiful asset that we have on the 9D corridor, which is kind of bland. So, you know, maybe 1 year clean it out, maybe 1 year put it, you know, do the foundation, 1 year maybe buy a prefab building, 1 year the electric, 1 year some heat. We'll figure it out. But the goal for me right now is to acquire the land and let the future boards decide what they want to do with it. All right. Any other questions, guys? No? Second meeting of January. Number 2, discussion of resolution to reauthorize agreement with Dutchess County for shared services. Routine, everybody okay with it?
Yep.
Next one is a budget modification for the 2025 highway budget for the trucks. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Number 4, discussion of resolution, budget modification for my office. I had $6,000 left over. I'd like to get some cameras and place them around my office area. Everybody okay with that?
Cameras like in
Like our cameras, I want to put one down the hallway or the building.
security camera?
Yeah, cameras, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up, discussion resolution to authorize amendment to the 2025 Justice Court Fund. I think Judge Raich wants to get a carpet. He did this on a state grant, got this for free. Judge Raich was able to get all this done for free, but they didn't have enough to do his office, so they had to get his office done.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's certainly fair.
And he has left over from last year. Next one is discussion of budget modification for the proceeds of property sale. Everybody okay with that?
Which property? Is that the house?
No. Geez, I thought it was a truck. 6.
I'm sure it's fine. I just was curious.
Is that the surplus?
Yeah.
That was sold?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The next up, discussion of resolution, accept resignation of part-time officer Farrell. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, we were going to miss him, a good cop.
Yep, well,
Best wishes and thanks.
happens. Privilege rule 4 for anything on the agenda. Next up is consent agenda, presented as a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We got one thing left. What did I do with it? Oh, I put it under here.
I did. I think John did as well, but.
Right, here it is. Last resolution is resolution adopting a local law enacting a hotel room occupancy tax, ID number 10260, whereas the town board of the town of Fishkill has before consideration of a proposed local law entitled a local law to amend town code chapter 138 entitled taxation by adding new article 7 entitled hotel room occupancy tax, and whereas following the due notice, the town board held a public hearing on the proposed local law. Now therefore be resolved as follows: 1, that the town board hereby adopts the said local law, and 2, that the local law shall be effective upon filing in the office of the Secretary of State. Somebody needs to present a motion and a second.
Second.
Who's the motion?
Brian?
Rye.
And who was?
Foreman is a second.
Thank you.
Vote.
Yeah, I just want to say I am still opposed to this. Another tax, we're talking today, people can't afford to eat. And we're trying to add more taxes, so I'm still a no.
Go, Greg.
I'm a yes.
Okay. John?
Yes.
Brian?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So it's 3-2.
Could I just say something?
Absolutely.
I mean, Councilmember Bardini, if it was a tax on our residents, direct tax on our residents, rest assured, there wouldn't be a lot of support for that. But this is visitors to our hotel rooms passing through, helping to make sure that we don't have to tax residents. And that, it has nothing but a positive effect on our budget and our citizens. So I just want to make that, I understand your opposition to taxes, but this is, anywhere you go, there's a hotel room tax.
But you're also assuming that people that live in the town never stay in a hotel. I know for a fact people have issues with their house, say flooding or fire. They need a place to stay. They have family come from out of town. They may not be able to accommodate them in their house. So I disagree with you on that. It doesn't affect the town people.
Okay.
Well, if there's a fire, the insurance company would pay for that.
That's what I was thinking.
The vote has been taken now.
Okay. All right, we have one item for special consideration, a resolution approving a return of ZBA application fee and escrow. So it happened, a guy wanted to build a garage. He withdrew that. There was no actions in the zoning board, nothing taken by the town, so we just want to give him his money back. Resolution approving return of ZBA application fee and escrow, whereas Mr. Scott T. Floughton submitted an application to the town zoning board of appeals, and whereas upon submission of the application, Mr. Floughton paid a $350 application fee and submitted an escrow deposit of $2,000, and whereas prior to any action being taken upon this application, Mr. Floughton withdrew it, and whereas the applicants are entitled to a refund of any unused escrow funds, and therefore Mr. Floughton will be refunded his $2,000 escrow deposit, and whereas the town board schedule fee does not specify whether the application fee for the ZBA is refundable or not refundable, and whereas Mr. Floughton has requested that the $350 application fee be refunded to him since the application was withdrawn before any action was taken, now there be resolved as follows: the town board hereby grants the said request of the $350. Authorize the supervisor to execute it. I'll make a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Ozzy, can I just speak to that for a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have a schedule of fees in regard to applications to the Zoning Board of Appeals. And applicants are required to deposit money into escrow to pay your consultant's fees. When the application's over, they get whatever's left on the escrow once all the consultants have been paid. But there's also this $350 application fee. And your schedule of fees provides that some application fees are non-refundable. Once it comes in, the town spent the time having a clerk or a building inspector or whoever it is look it over. Even if you withdraw the application, you don't get your money back. Others are refundable. because you just don't spend that much time on intake, and if somebody withdraws it before the application goes further, you give them their money back. As far as ZBA applications go, your schedule of fees doesn't indicate one way or the other whether the application fee, the $350, is refundable or non-refundable. It would probably be a good idea to adopt a resolution amending your schedule of fees to either say it is refundable or it's not refundable, or you want to do it on a case-by-case basis, that's fine too, but if you want to, you can think about it into January, that's just fine. If you want to give us some direction, we can prepare a resolution for your next meeting.
Or would it require only a resolution?
To amend your schedule of fees, just to indicate it's refundable or non-refundable.
You have Joel's email, right?
Yeah, Joel seemed to feel that it should be refundable, but Debbie seemed to feel that it shouldn't be refundable.
So check, if you
should
freelance with
discuss
Joel and see what they say, and if something they want to change, do a resolution, and we'll consider at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if you could take a look around at other municipalities and their fee schedules so we can get a general sense of best practices in our area, that would be potentially useful.
Yeah.
Generally, a ZBA application would be refundable. The ZBA doesn't look at it until they meet, so
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
until they're getting ready for the meeting.
But once they meet, it's not, once they meet, they're done.
You can't get your money back.
Yeah, I'm okay with
So
that.
That makes a lot of sense.
So then, in theory, it could be sensible to adopt a resolution that would specify that it is refundable prior to any action being taken.
That's correct.
Okay.
Just ZBA, not planning on other stuff.
I haven't looked into planning or anything else, I just looked into the
Okay,
ZBA.
we'll look into planning too, please.
Sure.
And this way we don't have any conflicting
Yeah.
laws. All right,
And-
next
and,
up is.
You know, we can also have a discretionary statement. Have a statement of discretionary, town board's discretion.
Do it case by case, sure, you
Yeah.
could do that if you want.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk
I don't
about it
think you want
when we put it
$350
together.
applications coming before you, though.
I know.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
know.
generally, I
Not that
don't
much.
think once one of our boards has
I think-
action, that we should refund the money.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
once-
anybody agrees.
Once it's on the
Yeah.
agenda and they talk about it, I think
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm okay with refunding it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, new and old business, John?
You going to make an announcement about tomorrow night's meeting, DOT?
Oh, thank you for,
Go ahead.
tomorrow night, here at 6 o'clock, DOT will be here regarding the possible roundabout at the intersection of 82 and 52. Personally, I'm conflicted. The intersection is actually at Arrowhead, dedicated to Chief Nimham, but when that went up there, the population of Fishkill was probably 2,000 people. Now it's closer to 25,000 people, and the area's grown. So you can consider myself neutral to the project, but it's going to be up to the state, and it's going to be up to the citizens of the town of Fishkill to either write to the DOT or come to the meeting tomorrow, where they're going to do a presentation and be heard. I'll be here. I don't know if any other board members will be here.
I'll be here.
6 to 7:30.
Yeah, this is going to start around 6 o'clock. We're also going to televise it, so you can watch it at home. But make sure you get your comments in. From what I've seen, it's 50-50. So if it's that close, it's probably going to happen.
It's my understanding, talking to the fire department at Roundabout, that there are a lot of accidents in that area.
It's a
And I
hotspot.
think that's pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the data is clear. Roundabouts are orders of magnitude safer than traditional T intersections or four-way intersections are, just because it reduces the frequency with which you can encounter another vehicle at a 90-degree angle or head-on instances pretty much altogether.
Well,
So I, by and large, am fans of roundabouts, but I, as you said, Supervisor, I'm very conflicted about the roundabout in that specific location. I'd like to see the plans, and I think there needs to be a very sensible way of going about doing it, as it is one of our more heavily trafficked areas of town, without any obvious convenient detours in that area during construction, which, based on my commute down to Yonkers and the work that was just being done down in Ansville, will take 6 to 8 months at a minimum.
Yeah, the two recent roundabouts in Dutchess County, one by John Jay High School, not so much a fan of that one. The one by Dutchess Airport, not a bad job.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Airport one was great.
it's very
Yeah,
nice.
That one's very good.
Like I said, the Arrowhead, I like history, you guys know that, so,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, it's a
Jackie?
shame we lose
What
that shape
happened
there.
with, I thought at some point, we were going to have some parking and area for people to go up to the statue. Would that interfere with
Let's
that?
ask the DOT guys tomorrow, Jackie.
Yeah, maybe they can help us with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything else new? All right.
I'm good.
Next board meeting, the 17th of this month. No executive session. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.
That was good.
I love Sean.